of the headliner job, and it's installing the new tack strips that we got from Jay. Looks like he got them from old 55 parts. All right, the first ones we're going to do is the front and the back. We're going to use adhesive two-face tape and then reinforce it with 1/8 inch rivets. I'll put like 6 mechanical rivets in there just on top of the adhesive. I think that's going to be more than enough. There's only tabs on the corners and they're looking like they got little cracks in them, so I'll be lucky if they don't break off. You get one here and here on both sides. All right, so the 54 inch, when they're marked, and the piece of paper that came with the kit basically tells you where everything goes. 54 inches for the windshield, 60 for the back, and you know, everything. So I just got everything kind of laid where it goes. So the first step is these ones, and like I say, I chose 3M two-face tape, and then I'll reinforce them with rivets front and back. I'll be right back. We got it adhesive on there with the two-face tape, made it easy, got it in place and held it really nice. I believe in my heart that adhesive will never let go, but we put a mechanical fastener on there, the rivets too, just in case. You know, you don't want to, 10 years down the road, the glue lets go and you woulda, coulda, shoulda. So we put a series of 1/8 inch rivets along there, and that'll be more than adequate to hold it. All right. This side, the tabs did break off because they were cracked. So I just put a rivet there and there, just on both sides of it. And then I put one in the middle too, just like I did on the other side. All right, I'm going to repeat the process on the back and bring the tack strip across the back. We got it glued in with the two-face tape and reinforced with 1/8 inch pop rivets. Went ahead and put the tack strip down the sides here. All right, it's got a fat piece for the middle and it goes back down to thin. It's a little long right here, but I'll wait to trim it. Then you come along here, I had to trim about 1/8 inch off of the window channels for the quarter glass on both sides. I got them in. Now I'm getting ready. I'm messing around with the windlace. All right, I'll figure I'd bring you guys in and show you what's going on with that. Now they give you a little piece of tack strip that they want you to put in the front corner. If you read right here, the 4-inch piece in the top front corner of the door opening. And I just called Jay to make sure, and he was like, yeah, because that's where you're gonna have your headliner come up. We'll probably have to put a little bit of stapling right there. All right, but the windlace itself doesn't get a tack strip. It has like a piece of cardboard that is sewn in. All right, it came out really well. Across the top, there's no tack strip. You just count on that plate to hold it. All right, so you get a little tack strip in this front corner from that old 55 kit I got. That's it, and that's where you just staple up in there. And I'll show you on the other side. I didn't put the plate on the other side yet. All right, but I got that one in. All right, in here it's still a little wonky, but I went in and got the piece of garnish molding for it. I'm pretty sure the garnish molding finishes it off. If you look, once you bolt the garnish molding on, boom, that's done. All right, it just tucks in to the dash, this little channel down through here. Put the material a little flush or a little above flush right here with the dash, and it just kind of sits in there. All right, down here I'm pretty sure there's some kind of kick plate or something. I don't have it, so I think for now I might just put some two-face tape and just kind of hold the lip on right there. Over on this side, because I have a new quarter, an inside quarter, I think my lip right here was a little deeper than it is on factory, because I couldn't get in with the stapler right here. It's just too far in, and the lip on this, see, look, it's not very big. So what I ended up doing is using furniture tacks, and they work so good. All right, they're really long. All right, let me see if I can get one out of the bag here. Look how long they are. Oh, let me get down here and get it. Look how long that is. All right, and that worked perfect for up through here. And even when I got up in here, I put them up in there. But I took my dikes and I trimmed about half of that spike off, but still cut it on an angle where I could still use the tack hammer to get them in there. And it is really tight, guys. It's really, really in there. All right, so I'm really happy with that. All right, I even put a little precautionary, I used a little two-faced tape to hold it right down through here until I got it in there. Now, for most of you guys, you could just use staplers and a staple, but I got the roll bar and it's right in the way. So I ended up doing it that way, and it's secured really well. All right, so that one lacing, this one lacing's in and ready to accept the headliner. All right, really good. You shut the door and it's gonna do what it's supposed to do the whole way around. Okay, so let me bring you around the other side and show you what I was talking about with the top there. There's no, like I said, there's no tack strip in the top. It just sits there. All right, and when I put that plate on, it kind of sandwiches that cardboard. Right here you see the staples. An old 55 kit, like I said, they give you a 4-inch piece right there, and that's it, and that's just to hold that in there. And you can see again, it's really wonky right here, but once we put our trim piece on, our garnish molding, it'll suck it up tight up in there. All right, and I did the same thing on this side as I did on the other side with the furniture tacks. Now, the old 55 kit, the tack strip, they give you 16 inches, 12 inches, and then another 16 inches. When you get to the 16 inch at the bottom, you get about 4 inches left over. So I cut that off and I put it up top in this corner and stapled this corner too. I did that on both sides. You can see, once you get that plate in there, it's finished. It's ready to go. All right. The next step I have is to actually put the rods or the bows, put the bows into the headliner. I got them sitting out here on the Nova in order. I cleaned them off really good. I mean, they're not spectacular, but they're nice and smooth, so hopefully they go into the listing without much issue. This is the goofy one that doesn't go into anything. It just sits on them center spikes that you push through the listing, so we'll go through that together. All right, so I guess that's my next step, is to get the headliner out. I was hoping it would be sunny today, but it's overcast. I wanted to try to heat that up in the sun. I'm still going to try to heat it up out here a little bit, but we'll try to get these bows in and at least get it into the car. All right, I'm gonna go over and put that plate on first real quick, but then I'm gonna try to get the bows into the headliner. All right, got the headliner draped over our roll bar. All right, so a lot of people don't have a roll bar, so they don't have that, I guess you could say, luxury. I had to start at the back because the bows are longer in the back, and I had to feed it up around the headline, or I had to feed the headliner up over the roll bar this way, and it's just laying in there. All right, so this is our first one right here, and it doesn't snap into anything on either side. What you're supposed to do is take this listing right here and stab it with these spikes that go across there. All right, and you'll notice my headliner has a nice line drawn right down the middle. That's the center. All right, and I'm centering that up with the light fixture in the cabin. All right, another thing I've been anxious about and wasn't sure was the videos I watched, they had cardboards and they said they snapped into something. Well, my headliner doesn't have the cardboard, and I guess it's a good thing because there was nothing for it to snap into. You're supposed to just nail it, or excuse me, tack it in across the tack strip. So we'll work on that a little later. But I got the headliner laying in there. All right, looks like we're gonna get rain. I didn't get the heavy sunshine I wanted to try to get all these wrinkles out, but it's not too bad. There's a couple fold creases in there. I guess we'll have to work on those. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stab the listing with those spikes in that first one, and then I guess we'll snap in these back ones, and then we'll work our way forward. All right, once we have all the bows in, then we'll start working on things. I think that's how I want to do it. All right, I've never done this, but we're discovering together. All right, guys, just figured I'd show you this real quick. They wanted you to stab those little spikes going across. You got that little piece of rod right above them, so it's kind of hanging there. Unfortunately, this one's broken off, but I still think we're going to be just fine. We'll just have to work with that. And then they just want you to take your little tack hammer or your little sheet metal hammer and bend those up. All right. So ultimately, I'd like to have that one there, but we don't have it, so we're just going to work from there. The next step, after I get these folded over, I'm going to start snapping these bows into their holes. I'll show you up here in the front. They have 2 spots for them, top and bottom. I'm going to put mine in the bottom holes. If we have to move them to the top, we will. But let me get these folded over, get these bows snapped in, and I'll bring you guys back in. If I didn't bring up, I put any old screws in like where the visor holes go, and same thing on the other side. And I also did it, I already have them covered, but where the, see right there where the hooks go, and all that is after we get this all tacked in and get all the wrinkles out, it makes it so we can find the holes, and we can put just a little slit with our razor blade and find the holes and not sit there and try to hunt for them. They'll be real easy to find if you take the time and just stick a couple, any old screws. They don't have to be the right size. It's just so you can feel them in there and make your little cuts. All right, a little tidbit of information. Just have the headliner popped into the bow holes, just holding it right now. You can see we got a lot of work in front of us. We're gonna have to work on getting these wrinkles out one by one. We'll get the heat gun and we'll have to staple them in, and from what I'm being told, sometimes you have to put them in and out a few times till you get it. One thing I found right away was up here in the front, these 2 bows were really loose, so I had to put those right into the top holes. And this bow right here, the same thing, it was loose, so I had to put it into the top hole, excuse me. This one and this one and the end one are all in the bottom, at least for now. If I work on it and find that I can't get these wrinkles out because it's too loose, we'll move them up to the top hole, or at least one of them. All right, but we do have it loose in here. I'm going to go in and get something to eat, and this is going to be one of those jobs I'm going to come out and I'm just going to work on it little and little, and we're going to get it. All right, but you can see it's about to rain. It's already raining in Philadelphia, so I got to get the tractor in and stuff like that, but we're well on our way. I've been on this headliner for about a day and a half, and I learned some valuable lessons. I'll tell you, number one is I should have went with a cloth for my first time ever doing a headliner. This vinyl has 0 forgiveness. I tell you, I got the front pretty decent. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, there's a couple little wrinkles, but they're gonna work out. I think with the temperature of the garage is gonna take care of the rest of that. All right, back here in the back, this side is okay. I mean, it needs a little bit more love here and there. Right through here is where they have you stab the listing with those spikes. There's no real adjustment there. I'm gonna have to play with it and say when it's good enough. The back corner, the culprit's over here, so let's go over and take a look. I tell you what, I watched that guy that had, there's really not much in the way of videos for vinyl headliners. You guys go look. Everybody does the cloth one because it isn't that bad from what I'm told. So I think Jay kind of warned me about this vinyl, so Kim's already come out and said let's just get a cloth one. But let me turn it so I can see. You know, right in here it's just got some wrinkles I need to work out. And like I say, from watching that one guy where he was like, well, you got to take it right to the edge with the heat gun. Well, right there at that one listing I went a little too much, and I know that I did a little bit of damage because the holes are a little tiny bit elongated. So I know I messed that up a little bit, but hey, you live and you learn. You can't be too hard on yourself, you know. And you know, it's coming along. It's getting there. But it's to the point now where I'm just going to let it sit for a while and see what it does. It gets really hot in the garage. I was actually considering putting a space heater in here and putting blankets over it and just letting the whole interior heat up, and then take a look at it. But it's like I said, it's vinyl. It isn't like a cloth with some cotton in it where you could spray it with water or hit it with steam or something like that. This is vinyl. It's not moving. It's just it is what it is, and it's going to go in how it is. And you got to be careful not to overstretch it. Every little thing shows. And that's like I said, I'm learning that. And like I said, if it gets to the point where it's just monotonous and it's not going to help or get any better, I might take Kim up on that cloth headliner. But you know, I'm still going to play with it a little bit and see if we can get it. But I'm just going to let it, you know, do what it's going to do for a day or two. And I'm going to do something else. I think I'm going to put that spacer on my gas pedal, see if I can get that last 10% of pedal or whatever, not 10%, 5% of pedal, just so I can get full throttle. I'm going to do that maybe tomorrow, just something relaxing to do, all right? But that's where I'm at with the headliner. It's a mixed bag right now. It's like the front looks great and the back needs work, but we're not giving up yet. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it. Like I said, you go back and look in all these headliner videos, these pros and all these said to be pros, they're all doing cloth, and that's for a reason. Vinyl's a nightmare. All right, so until next time, take care everybody.